Hi everyone, I'm usual, a member of Group 31, the Infinity team. The purpose of this presentation is to give an overview of the project being held by the Infinity team. The Infinity team is a 7-member team. So the client for the project, named Mr. Charles Atumbia, requires the team to develop a desktop-based software application, which is the fleet management system.
Hi, so I'm going to speak on the objectives of the project. The main objective of this project is to build a desktop-based application, which is going to help the user, which is the transport manager, manage the transport activities of the organization. So the software will manage trips, vehicles, and drivers, which means it will allow the user to, 1, keep track of completed and pending trips, 2, keep track of the movement of vehicles in the organization with respect to trips, and 3, is going to keep the movement of drivers in the organization with respect to trips.
Considering the problem domain of the software being developed, you have the high risk of data loss due to the use of hard copy documents and the difficulty of assigning trips to the appropriate drivers. And also, there is the difficulty of keeping records of trips, vehicles, and drivers in the organization. Not to forget about the difficulty of retrieving details of past trips, drivers, and vehicles in the organization.
Hello, my name is Krakani Richard. With a fleet management system, it will require just one user as stated by the client, which will be the transport administrator. The user requirements of the software is to manage drivers, manage trips, and manage vehicles.
For the functional requirements of the software, the user should be able to input the details of a new driver, a new trip, and a new vehicle, and save it into the system. The user is also required to be able to modify details of existing trips, drivers, and vehicles in the system. The user is also required to be able to delete details of existing trips, vehicles, and drivers in the system. One main functional requirement not to be left out is the user being able to assign a vehicle and a driver to a new trip.
So for the non-functional requirements, we have usability, localization, security.
For the highlights from the product backlog, we had 12 updated user stories, and the 12 user stories covers the 3 main models of the software, which is the driver's model, the vehicles model, and the trips model, and other sub-models, which is the login, then the reports model, which is attached to each of the main models mentioned earlier. Considering the 4 sprints ahead of us, the team has decided to implement a mass portion of each main model. That's the 3 main models we have in each sprint. So for the first sprint, a mass portion of the driver's model would be implemented. And the second sprint, the vehicles model would be implemented. And the third sprint, the trips model would be implemented. While the 4th sprint will be something more like applying the finishing touches and developing the sub-models of the software. By the end of the 4th sprint, the team expects to have a full functioning software.
Hi there again. With regards to the lesson learned during this project, I can say that working as a team is not as easy as it seems. Group members can become complacent at times, which reduces the output required at the end of every deliverable. And also, with the client interaction, I can proudly say that our client, Mr. Charles Atumbia, helped us very much because he pushed us to the limit and gave us a deadline to complete the project before the actual deadline was due.
the things we learn in class. At first, you just used to write codes which didn't make sense as to how they apply in the real world. But for now, I've learned to appreciate how to relate with clients, how to convert story problems into real codes, and how to relate to people. I believe I have a great team, and I think we are going to do a very great project. Thank you.
I'm using Kwachi Hayford, a member of the Infinity team. As my personal experience, I've realized some members miss information before some speculated time. So I suggested we all tag members in our groups to make sure they are notified before the time. Ever since all members started to over-communicate, we've had successful events throughout.
My name is Robin Akente, a member of Group 31, the Infinity Group. The project my group members and I, in collaboration with our client, decided to execute has at this juncture prepared me for the outside world. The project demanded a great contribution from all the group members, and we all worked hard to produce a perfect output in a limited time frame, all by the help of our client, delegating the tasks appropriately and enforcing realistic deadlines. Clear communication with our client was also a great factor to get the project done.
Personally, the course as a whole, the software engineering course as a whole, has been a great adventure for me because it exposes me to finding solutions to problems, always being on the lookout, finding solutions to problems. Yes. I say yes. For instance, every week we have to fulfill the requirements of the deliverable which are given to us, and considering the client's requirements for the software, we have to work well and work hard to get what is expected of us for each week's deliverable. And that has been a great journey for me, and I'm happy to be part of this journey as a whole. Working in a team too has been a great experience for me because I actually haven't worked in a team on a great project like this before. This is my first time, and sometimes making decisions, arriving at a common conclusion is very difficult because each member of the group has different opinions, and yes, but we manage and work together as a team. We overcome our weaknesses, and I'm happy having a feel of being exposed to working in the professional environment. Yes, the course has been a great journey, as I said earlier, and I'm happy to be part of this journey. Thank you.
From the individual experience and from the lessons learned from this journey, I've learned a lot of things. I've learned about how to work in a group and how to collaborate. I've also learned a lot about GitHub and how to collaborate using the GitHub. Also, I've learned about software development and how to get to deploy a system to a user and the stages it takes to also develop a system, and I am very glad to be part of this course. Thank you.